We'll start within 2 minutes. Huh?
Yes, sir.
How is the atmosphere in Delhi right now? Rain is there?
Rain is not there, but in the
Yes.
land, Delhi, you must be hearing some news.
Yes, rain is there in Delhi. How's the position?
No, rain is not around. But
Ah,
there is a different news which is going on television channels
okay.
regards to the violence near Delhi.
Okay.
Yeah, fortunately, rains are not around.
Ah. Last time in Hyderabad got a lot of holiday because of rain. Around 1 week holiday is there.
I agree.
Sir, should we start with the session?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
So, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the day 4 of our AI/ML for Internet of Things certified online workshop. We hope you all have been enjoying the incredible learning journey so far. As we enter the fourth day, we want to take a moment to appreciate each and one of you for your dedication, commitment to this workshop. Your enthusiasm and your active participation has truly enriched our sessions. Over the past few days, we've covered a lot of ground from the basics of AI/ML to real world applications of IoT. And today, we are delighted to continue this journey of exploration and discovering with an exciting lineup of session. Before we deep dive into today's agenda, we again want to extend our heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed speakers. Their expertise and passion for these technologies have been the guiding light of the workshop. Today, we dive deeper into the cutting edge applications, advanced concepts, and practical insights that will further empower your AI and IoT journey. So, without any further ado, let's begin with the session. With this note, it gives me immense pleasure to introduce the first speaker for today, Mr. Himanshu Paliwal, who is currently working as pre-sales head IT, infra, and cloud for India and SAARC countries at Tech Mahindra. Sir has completed his BTech in Electronics and Telecommunication Engineering from Shivaji University and his MBA in Marketing and Information Systems. Sir is technically sophisticated and business savvy management professional with pioneering career of 24 years, reflecting strong leadership qualities in pre-sales and techno-commercial activity, business development, and key account management. Sir has proven his ability to lead a team by example and motivate them to achieve desired objectives. Sir, on behalf of IIT Pune chapter, Buds Engineering Academy, and Civic Incubation Center, it gives me immense pleasure to call you upon the virtual dais and take over the session.
Thank you. Thanks a lot for this introduction, and it's a pleasure to be with academicians again because having been so long in the industry and been completely cut off from academia is not a good thing for me. So I take always a pleasure to sort of be with the academicians, students, and professors whenever I get this opportunity. And thanks to Birds Academy, and a special thanks to Arjun for giving me this opportunity to be with the academicians. And the commonality, Arjun, is that I'm also from Delhi, and I guess I'm addressing people who are mostly in Delhi. So, uh, good evening to all the Delhiites here. And I guess some are also joining from outside, Arjun, if I'm not wrong. People are also joining outside Delhi, I guess.
Yes, yes, yeah.
That's great. And I've been told that people will also join on YouTube, which is streaming live. So thanks for giving me this opportunity, Arjun. And let me share my screen and sort of we'll start.
Yeah, okay.
Share the entire screen. Is this visible?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, visible. Visible.
Okay. This is presentation mode. Okay, I have lost the view of the conference. I can only see my laptop. Uh, are you able to see and hear me?
Yes, yes, I am able to see. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So that's great. Um, okay. So this is the agenda for today, and I promise all of you, whosoever is in the call and on YouTube, that this will not be a death by PowerPoint. We will keep it very light, light in terms of technology. We will not go deep dive into technology. But what we will do is try and understand a perspective on AI, and I'm deliberately not including IoT because IoT is a different technology. There's less of an involvement of AI in IoT. But yes, IoT is also an important aspect, and AI is slowly creeping into IoT also, the Internet of Things. But IoT is mainly sort of related to the sensors. It is part of electronics rather than an AI AI software or algorithm. So the agenda is that we will check out where did we begin with AI and what are different types of AI nowadays which are prevalent. So AI has been categorized mainly into three towers. We will check out those three towers. Uh, and the rest two headings, or rather three headings down below this, are very controversial. Controversial in the sense that there is a lot of debate going on whether we should welcome or ban AI. What about the jobless situation which AI may create? And what about the misuse of AI, which is which has already started happening? A lot of incidences are around where AI has been misused. Similarly, there are a lot of strong opinions on deepfake technology. We will also check what deepfake technology is and why there are very strong opinions about it. And then to end this session, we will have some lighter moments with some videos and use cases on AI. And this is all about what I have for this evening today. So let's begin from the beginning, and this is what the beginning is. John McCarthy was a person ahead of his times. He was discussing some kind of an intelligence, which he later named as artificial intelligence in early 60s. But in 50s, he was of the opinion that these large machines at that time, computers were of the size of a large hall, and they were all being operated by diodes. Uh, he was of the opinion that these large machines, which could compute a bit, can be made intelligent. And then he wrote a book also with these three gentlemen whose names are reflecting here, Turning, Minsky, and Newell, in early 60s, uh, by the name of artificial intelligence. So he's called the father of artificial intelligence because when nobody thought that these computers those days, which were as large as a big hall, a room, or a truck, could be made intelligent. And but what had happened was his endeavors never bear fruit to an extent because in those days computing power was very limited. We had no supercomputers at that time, and then there was not computer on every desk, which Bill Gates made it a reality in mid 90s. He wanted a desktop on every desk, and then he provided a desktop on every desk. And then sort of artificial intelligence really took off. A lot of research went into artificial intelligence in last 20 years, and it was because of the increase in, or rather I'll say it was a geometric progression for compute, internet and the storage power. And that's why we were able to do what we have done in artificial intelligence today. And by the way, Montreal, which is a city in Canada, became a virtual hub for the research and training algorithms, which formed the base of the modern artificial intelligence. Chat GPT, which has taken everybody by storm, especially internet by storm. A lot of contribution comes from the city Montreal into creating this magnificent piece of software called ChatGPT. Having said this, we began this, and where we are now at this stage where okay, so these were the gentlemen who started off a company called OpenAI in 2015-16, which has created ChatGPT, and especially Greg Brockman, who's a co-founder and the CTO, played a very important role in bringing Elon Musk to this company in the form of an investor. So Elon Musk is actually the biggest investor in OpenAI, who created ChatGPT. So yeah, let's jump to now what is actually the difference between, because some of the questions which I keep facing from my customers in industry and newcomers in the industry who are just joining Tech Mahindra from various colleges is they are well versed of Siri and Alexa. We all know what Siri and what Alexa is. They are basically voice assistants. And then what is the difference between these two entities and generative AI called ChatGPT? So broadly, this slide is a very superficial slide on the difference, but then I'll go to the next slide and explain you the difference between uh, conversational AI, robotics AI, and generative AI, which is ChatGPT. Broadly, Siri and Alexa are conversational AIs, which means that they only search the internet just like Google, and they just read out whatever Google would find in terms of text, and they will just speak out or they will just voice it out. So they are only conversational AI. So robotics AI is basically an AI which is actually uh, falls somewhere between generative AI and these conversational AI. Robotics AI is a very deep subject, and in fact, it was the first kind of an AI which started off actually. Alexa and generative AI are very risky phenomena, by the way. But robotics AI was prevalent in 70s also. So having said this, just keep in mind that Siri, Alexa are only giving you an input that is available on Google or that is available on internet, and any search engine like Google or Bing from Microsoft will produce the same output that Siri and Alexa will give you in terms of voice. The only difference between Google, Bing, Siri, and Alexa is that Siri and Alexa you could converse with. I mean, you could do voice commands, but you understand nowadays even Google has a small microphone there, and even you can give voice commands to Google, and Google will give the search result. Rather would service you with all the data whatever Google has found on the internet. And generative AI, why it is called as generative AI? Because it not only searches the internet for the relevant data, but it generates a meaningful output from that data, which a very intelligent human being will do. So if you're conversing with Chat GPT, you know, you will feel like you are conversing with a very smart, intelligent, very evolved human being who is able to provide you answers which you are looking for, and not only the data which is available on the internet. So indirectly, what this AI does, it generates an output, a meaningful output which human beings can use directly, either in the form of a text or in the form of a conversation. I think the next slide is a deep dive, or rather, I have tried to simplify the technology between conversational AI, generative AI, and robotics, which is called as humanoid also. I think we will stop here with the technology and then sort of go to the actual use cases. But let me try and simplify this and make you understand the difference between conversational AI, generative AI, and robotics AI. So as I said, the examples of conversational AIs are Siri, Alexa, and certain voice responses which you may have seen in some luxury cars. Now cars are also talking to you. They take some commands from you. These are all examples of conversational AIs. So here what is done is, again, as I have said, is, the internet is search around, the data which is available on the internet is either given back to you in the form of a text or it is given back in the form of a voice. And generative AI, as I have told you, is actually, it, it is very advanced than what Google, Alexa, and Siri are, in the sense that it is trained on trillions of bytes of unstructured data available on internet. And then what follows is there is a structured algorithm being written in Chat GPT or conversational AI examples like Bard and 365, which are about to come, by the way. You will soon find a competition to Chat GPT. Google is coming out with Bard, and Microsoft has already come out with MS365 Copilot. So these are types of generative AI being launched by Google and Microsoft. So what this generative AI will do, having searched the ocean of data on internet, which is unstructured data, it will then follow a very structured algorithm to make some sense out of this unsensible data which is floating around on the internet. And it would collate it, and it would structure that data in such a way that it makes a meaningful, uh, rather, it gives a meaningful output as a human being will give. And for example, if you search for what was the reason for Mrs. Indira Gandhi's assassination, try doing it, and you will get some five pages of meaningful data with all the history as to why she was assassinated. And try searching for when President Ronald Reagan was attacked in late 80s. Why it was done? You will have 4 or 5 pages of some meaningful data, and you will know the entire history, which probably Google may not give you the way you want. And so, having said this, generative AI creates data from the meaningless ocean of data floating around on the internet, whereas a Google, Bing, Siri, Alexa will only collect that data and will service that data to you. So this is the big difference, and this is the reason why Chat GPT has taken internet by storm, and why Google and Microsoft are worried about. Now coming to robotics AI. AI is basically a very limited AI. It would do only a limited function, and the entire intelligence is built around with that structure, which has a lot of sensors around. When you see a humanoid robot, for example, I've already given examples here. There is a humanoid robot called Sophia, which is gaining a lot of popularity, and we will come to the reasons why she is getting so much of the popularity. And earlier, if you could have seen a humanoid robot called Asimo. Asimo was an outcome of a lot of research which started in 70s and ultimately in late 90s or early 2000, this robot was created which does a lot of things which a human would do. And I'm being told that Honda company, which was behind creation of this robot, is also using this robot called Asimo in their manufacturing of cars. So what so where the artificial intelligence fit into? The artificial intelligence will fit into the various body parts of these robots. For example, they can see and react. When they are seeing it, their eyes are fitted with cameras. So the cameras are an input to them. And with that input, they will make some sense out of whatever they are seeing. They can also hear through their ears, which are basically microphones. So they'll hear it out, and then the output comes out of their mouth, which is basically a speaker. And by the way, now there are very advanced robots available whose skins are also fitted with a lot of sensors. So they have a sensory touch feeling. They have a feeling of hot and cold. And robots have gone beyond it now. They are no more limited to the physical body of a robot, but now they are also getting connected to internet and they get commands from internet also. And there is what IoT comes into play. So I was talking about the robot called Sophia. Sophia is the first robo to whom Saudi Arabia has given citizenship. Now, having known Saudi Arabia as a country, they seldom give a citizenship to a human being, but they have given a citizenship to a robot. And Sophia is a bona fide citizen of Saudi Arabia. And I'll show you some videos. I mean, looks like human, talks like human, and she is capable of conversing with human beings, also doing some kind of household activities. So, having said that, let us come to the next topic, and which is very controversial topic, as I was saying. Should we welcome AI and ML? ML is machine learning or not? My opinion is it is yes and no both. And I have developed this opinion from the various statements that people have given, and these people are not ordinary people. They are actually creators of AI. And having created an artificial intelligence in various forms, this is what these guys have to say. And certain names would be very familiar to you. But let me read out, what Elon Musk said as latest as 24th May 2023. And let me read it out to you, what his statement is. And why I feel astonished and surprised by his statement, that it's very honest and very true. At the same time, Elon Musk, being such a genius businessman and a scientist and an inventor, has an opinion so crude on artificial intelligence, in which he himself is a big investor. So by giving this statement, in fact, he has sabotaged his own business interest. But nonetheless, I appreciate the honesty in which he has given this statement, and it says that it is not impossible for AI to control humanity, that the technology could advance so rapidly that it would create existential risk for humanity. AI doesn't have to be evil to destroy humanity, but if AI has a goal and humanity just happens to come in the way, it will destroy humanity as a matter of course without even thinking about it. No hard feelings. So straight, so honest, and so brutal. Another statement comes from Andrew. Andrew is a co-founder of Google Brain, guy who is synonymous with artificial, and he also has a word of caution for guys who are developing this weapon of mass destruction, as he has called sometimes back. We have seen AI providing conversations and comfort to the lonely. We have also seen AI engaging in racial discrimination, which yes, most of the AI software have done. Yet the biggest harm that AI is likely to do to individuals in short term is job displacement. And this is what people in IT industries are worried about. Most of the software engineers are worried about, especially in last 6, 7 months. The tension has risen as Chat GPT can also write codes and they can write a complete software if a command is given to them locally. And this is what Andrew said some 10 years back. And again, synonymous thing, I think if you could remember, I don't know how many of you are familiar with a name called James Cameron, Mr. James Cameron. James Cameron is the guy or a director or a producer behind films like Terminator 1, Terminator 2, Judgment Day, Titanic, and Avatar. When he was creating his first film, which was Terminator Part 1, he gave the same statement what Elon Musk had given in May 2023. Exactly the same thing. And his statement was, and I remember because I was a young student at that time, and I had seen Terminator 2, The Judgment Day. I read somewhere that he has said that I have made this film just to show that if artificial intelligence comes into the field of defense, what would happen to humanity? That artificial intelligence, if some government, decides to implement in the area of defense, it can destroy humanity. And the last statement you have to ponder upon is from Stephen Hawking, the famous physicist who was crippled actually. He was on wheelchair. You have seen him. He recently passed away. He also told the same thing. And the word goes like that the development of full artificial intelligence could spell the end for the human race. It would take off as its own and redesign itself at an ever increasing rate. Humans who are limited by slow biological evolutions and are emotional will not be able to compete and would be superseded by the artificial intelligence. You know? So friends, this is not what what I have to say about it. These are words of the people who are developed AI and they have given a word of caution to us. Let industry take the cognizance of this and let the further development in this field be guided by keeping in mind the interest of humanity rather than business. So, okay, so let's take, I mean, by the way, you know, if you have an opinion or if you have a question for me, feel free to interrupt. Arjun, I believe I am still audible and visible. Arjun, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Thanks God. Otherwise, I was thinking I have become a robot and I've started speaking as script. So thanks for it. Okay, so let's go to some interesting part now. So I have tried actually answering some of the questions which have been floating around. What artificial intelligence will do. Uh, the most important fear that we guys have in IT industry is that it will take our jobs, and it's not going to take the blue collar jobs now. It is going to take white collar jobs. So only those jobs are safe. I mean, in the first place, if your job does not involve any natural intelligence, you are safe. Any job which involves natural intelligence, artificial intelligence has the capability to take it over. And why this fascination on Chat GPT? Because nobody has understood the real power of Chat GPT. And as the saying goes, more than the creators, the users of technologies are more fascinated because you definitely need some genius people to invent and create a technology, but not for using it. Even idiots can use technology very well. And then we will come to and the fact that why some people, and especially some software developers in IT industries, are worried about is the capability of generative AI like ChatGPT to learn from internet. As more and more data floats around on the internet, the generative AI software becomes more powerful as it keeps all the data, it takes all the data from the internet, unstructured it may be, but then it goes through a very structured algorithmic process to create a meaning out of it. And that's why ChatGPT is also able to write software codes. And what I'm being told, I have not tested myself, is that generative AI, like the next generative AI like Bard and Copilot, may even respond to RFPs. Responding to RFPs is a very tedious job. It requires a lot of intelligence. But then I just say that if any job which requires intelligence is a candidate for replacement by artificial intelligence. So yes, we should be worried about, and we should be more worried about a technology called deep fake technology. Now, what this technology is, and the fact that this is an interesting anecdote. In the last few years, I have seen that certain negative words have become very fashionable. You heard of a word called disruption, which was floating around the corporate sector since last 7, 8 years. It's not a very positive word. Like, oh, we will go and disrupt it. We will cause a widespread disruption. Similarly, a deep fake technology. First of all, the fake word itself is quite negative. And when you say deep fake, it is so deeply fake that you will not be able to make out a difference whether it is fake or it's true, or fake and genuine. And the examples are in the next slide. Are you able to see this photograph of a lady? The first photograph.
Yes, we are able to see.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
This is a photograph of a model who has never taken birth on this planet. This model, which is shown as a bride, the bridal model, never exists. This photograph has been created from the various photographs which are available on the internet. Somebody's eyes has been taken, somebody's nose, somebody's lips, somebody's cheeks have been taken. And this beautiful photograph has been created. It's completely fake. This lady never exists. Resemblance to any other lady is merely coincidence. And believe me, this is, भानामती का कुनबा, as we say. कहीं की ईंट कहीं का रोड़ा, भानामती ने कुनबा जोड़ा वाला हिसाब है. And what is and I think you must have seen this. This photograph has gone very viral on internet, and there are a lot of comments about it as to how many jobs this technology is going to take away. Now, you see, if you want to have this photograph being taken, then you need a studio, you need a model, for which you have to pay very high fees. Then you need a very professional photographs, you need lights, you need this bridal clothing, which is taken on rent. All these job avenues have vanished. And these pictures have been created not by professionals, but by an amateur guys who are in the age group of 20 and 23. Rather, one guy could have created it. And when we talk of job losses, this is what we are talking of. And this is what we have to face and accept, rather being in denial. Moving forward, if some jewelry shop has to create or rather want to advertise, it can go to a sophisticated graphic artist who can create such beautiful fake pictures. And you don't need a model, you don't need a studio, you don't need, high class lightings, high class cameras, nothing. Okay. So this is what it is, deep fake. The second of my chairman, Mr. Anand Mahindra. Now here, Mr. Anand Mahindra is shown as playing Holi in Vrindavan city. And so real. I mean, if you see the background, you can see the lens effect, the camera lens effect, where Mr. Mahindra is shown very prominent in focused area, and the background is bit dull. Now this is again a fake photograph. You know, various photographs of Mr. Anand Mahindra available on the internet have been used to create this photograph, where he's shown in a very jolly mood, and it is so real that you will think it is taken by a camera, because camera effects are also being given here. And the fact remains that he was never in Vrindavan and he never played Holi. And in fact, my chairman very very light-heartedly tweeted also that I'm fascinated by this technology, but at the same time, it is very scary. Thank God they showed me only playing Holi. So that was his statement, and that is what his tweet was. Uh, some more examples for you. If that was not enough, see this. All these business leaders are shown as playing Holi in Vrindavan, and see the genuinity of the camera work. In some photographs, especially the Elon Musk photograph, if you see, again there is a camera effect where he is shown in focus and the background is dull or blurred. Mr. Mukesh Ambani photograph is different. It is actually a real world, background of Vrindavan. It is a very famous temple there, and he has been shown there. And same is with Bill Gates. Now, people have not stopped, and this is actually being thrown on internet by saying that this is what deepfake technology can do. And moreover, if you see the next photograph, you will again see what this technology can do even beyond what has been done in this photograph. Here, Mr. Gautam Adani and Mr. Ratan Tata have been shown. Now, see the stark difference here. Mr. Adani has never sported such mustaches, but he has shown sporting a different kind of a mustaches which are very long. Again, very happy. All these camera effects are here. And when you see Mr. Ratan Tata is shown as very young. If you see him now, because of his spinal problems, he is bent over. I mean, he's completely bent over. His looks very old, cannot walk. But he is shown in reality dancing in Vrindavan. And this is all what deepfake technology is all about. You can create things, and not only you can create things in photographs, you can even create things in videos, which I think we will see if time permits. All these examples of deepfake technology are available on YouTube, be it photographs or videos. So let us see if I can show you some videos which are deepfake. Give me a minute. I'll just go. So let me just, for a moment, stop sharing the screen and let me search that videos which are there. So just give me a minute. I will share my screen again. If you give me a minute, I'll come back with some interesting videos. Yeah. Here I'm taking you directly to the live streaming on YouTube. Let us see this video. Check out what was happening here is basically a film Sholay has been remade by taking Hollywood film stars into it. And it is again an example of deep fake technology where our Indian actors have been replaced by Hollywood actors. And a voiceover has been done in English and Sholay has been remade. So now see the easiness or ease in which films could be remade. So we have heard that there is a remake of South film or some remake of Bollywood films. And that film was shot. When we say a remake, it was actually a film shooting being done. That film was completely been shot in a different language. But here, you could just pick the original film, replace the actors with the actors of your choice, replace the dialogues with the language of your choice, and here you make a movie. Again, a loss of jobs in the entertainment world. And let me come to one more video. I can just go to YouTube again and then come back. I'll show you how things are moving on in terms of robotics also. Give me a minute. Let me share the screen again.
Welcome to
what I want to show you is this is a very famous show called Tonight Show, and Sophia
as well. David, you brought a friend with you here. This is really kind of
Yeah, this is Sophia. And Sophia is a social robot, and she has artificial intelligence software that we developed at Hampton Robotics, which can process visual data. She can see people's faces. She can process conversational data, emotional data, and use all of this to form relationships with people.
okay. So I mean, it's basically a line. Is that what you're saying?
Oh yeah.
Sure. Give it. I'll say. It's like, you see how awkward my first dates are. It's a robot. I'm getting nervous around a robot. A very pretty robot. What do I just say hello to? Hi, Sophia.
Hello, Jimmy.
My God.
Sorry for the audio. You can
Do you know where you are?
on YouTube and watch
Of
this
course.
video completely. It's a very
I'm in New
interesting
York
show.
City, and I'm on my
First
favorite
show
show,
was being
The
done by
Tonight Show.
an anchor with a robot. Very interesting conversation. You should go and watch it.
Sophia, can you tell me a joke?
Sure.
Anyway, so
What
the
cheese
idea
can never
was
be
to
yours?
show you that
Cheese can never be mine. I don't know.
she
Nacho
built
cheese.
a human
Yeah,
life
that's
to
good, yeah.
digitize the robot.
That's not, I like nacho cheese.
What do you think? Or
Nacho
we
cheeses.
all should be worried
Ew.
about something which I'm going to show you now.
Ew.
I'm getting laughs.
yeah.
Maybe I should host the show.
Okay, all right. Now.
For starters, what should I call you?
I'm Chloe. And you, what's your name?
Oh, John. My name is John.
Delighted to meet you, John.
Could you tell us a little about yourself and what you can do, Chloe?
Of course. I'm the first personal assistant built by CyberLife. I take care of most everyday tasks like cooking, housework, or managing your appointments, for example.
And I understand you're the first android to have passed the Turing test. Could you tell us a little more about that?
I really didn't do much, I just spoke with a few humans to see if they could tell the difference between me and a real person. It was a really interesting experience.
But this is the first time in history that man has created a machine more intelligent than himself. I gather your brain can perform several billion operations per second. Is that right?
How many of you believe that she is not a human being. How many of you believe? Arjun, what's your opinion? Is she a robot or she is a human being?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm asking you whether you believe this, that she is a robot or she is a human being.
Yeah.
She is
By
copy
first
of
look, people can't believe. First look,
and
they can't believe.
first thing they can't believe, but there is a very interesting debate going on the internet because she is a
Acha.
copy. She's
So
copy of a
Dr.
very
Nitin
famous
sir
model.
saying it's unbelievable. Dr. Nitin is saying unbelievable.
Yeah, I'm yet to go through the chats, but I'll definitely go through the chats. Now, what is the controversy here? I'll tell you. This model which we saw, she was giving an interview, and if you go to the YouTube and check out, uh, she is by the name of Chole, 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 and she is a robot. This is what Japanese are portraying, that she is a robot, copy of an American model or a Russian model. However, there is a debate that she is actually the model. She is not the robot. And then how come some LED has been fitted into her forehead? If you have noticed, the LED is blinking. And Japanese people are claiming that she is a robot. We have created this robot and we are habitual of creating such robots. But some of the other European countries believe that no, she is an actual model. Yeah, Dr. Nitin Jori, I agree that she is a bit advanced. Now, whatever it is, I mean, if she is a robot, then she is very advanced. She's just like human being. And if you go to YouTube and watch this interview, you won't believe the way in which she is portraying herself. She's giving all the answers so rapidly, so clearly to that interviewer, as if she is a human being. And the other part is that because she's not a robot, she's a human being. How you could make out she's a human being? In the years to come, it would be very difficult for us to distinguish between humans and robots. And my next slide would give you that proof that it would be very difficult to distinguish between a human and robot. You never know, are you speaking to a human being or you are speaking to a robot. Let's go to the slide and then end it. And then probably we can have some question and answers, or rather a discussion. I mean, not really a question answer. This is that slide which I want to show. These are all robots. By the way, if you see this picture and this picture, these gentlemen are actually scientists who have created their look-alike robots. And they have challenged the general audience that you please make out the difference between me and my creation. Especially these two pictures, the below two pictures. One is real, the other is robot. Here also in this picture, see the cursor. This gentleman is the scientist, is a robotic scientist. This is the robot. He has used his own face to create his creation. It's very difficult to make out who is real. And all the top rows, these are all robots. They talk like human beings. Their hairs are human beings. So this reminds me of again James Cameron, who was ahead of his times. And there is an interesting take on some robots in defense. You would also be amazed. They are very interesting videos. I don't want to show it and take time now because we are almost reaching an hour. But these are very interesting videos where robots are fighting like human beings. If you want, I'll share the link. So having said this, if there is a viewpoint or there is a question, we can discuss it in next 5-7 minutes that we have.
Yeah.
Before I hand over to
Some chat box, some questions. The participants can put the questions in the chat box. So you see the chat box, some questions are there.
Yeah, I'll go. Logic-based AI and generative AI serve different purposes and have different resource requirements. You are absolutely right, Arjun. I have already compared the resource hungriness of generative AI and my friends in HP, because I was with HP, some years back, and when this entire issue of artificial intelligence started, uh, all companies who are into manufacturing of hardware and especially compute and storage are quite happy, because generative AI is such a resource hungry, that resource requirements are definitely more for generative AI. Okay. Yeah, rest are opinions by Dr. Nitin Joshi, and I'm completely with you that it's unbelievable what is happening in the field of artificial intelligence and robotics. And it is both fascinating as well as scary. One thing, which is unbelievable is again about Chat GPT. When I heard about generative AI some 3-4 years back, I thought that it will come, but it will take time. And I thought that it's like that transponder scientific fiction shown in Star Trek, where human beings are transported via electromagnetic waves. If you've seen Star Trek, the inmates of the spaceship, Captain Kirk, Spock, or McCoy, they sort of disappear from the ship and then they reappear on a planet somewhere down there. I thought that this would generative AI would just be a fiction like transponder, though serious researches are going on in transporting matter through electromagnetic waves, with the logic that if videos could be transmitted via electromagnetic waves, then why not matter? But Chat GPT coming out with such a fantastic product in such a less time and with such a big impact is really unbelievable.
Participants, any questions? Any more questions? Put it in the chat box. Yeah. So in further also, if any questions, you put it there, we'll forward to Himanshu.
Yeah, there are certain questions because of the, again, technology has been restricted. Probably, I'm being told that participants cannot be vocal on the call. And anyways, we are top of the hour. We have spent an hour here. But I'll be happy to take questions and reply back.
Okay.
Thank you for the applauses that you are giving me. And I'll share my email ID and connect with Arjun. I'm also based out of Delhi.
Yeah.
Working with Tech Mahindra Noida, and I'm reachable for any further discussions or opinions you have. Not much to say. I was saying to Arjun that an hour is a very less for me, because there are so many things that we have a view upon from an IT industry perspective. But good, thanks Arjun. We had a very fruitful session on artificial intelligence. I hand it over to you, Arjun. Over to you.
Yeah. First of all, your time slot getting is very difficult for us. Yeah, Dr. Nitin is saying very informative, but you find the time for us, and you have given actual insights what's happening in the industry about generative AI and the AI, what the comparison resources and all. So first of all, on behalf of IETE Pune chapter, Birds Engineering Academy, and Civic Incubation Center, we are very much thankful for you for spending your time or with us. At the same time, I am very much thankful to participants also. They have kept some theories also. They have shown their interest to understand some more fields also. Once again, on behalf of my individual also, I am thankful to Himanshu. Over to Sai. Sai, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. It's been an honor to have you on board, and your expertise has truly enriched our understanding of AI, especially AI, and has given us this multi-dimensional perspective of AI. So, thank you so much, one again. We are really grateful for your valuable contributions and your time. Thank you, sir.
Most welcome. Most welcome. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
So
Moving on to the okay.
I'll take your leave. Thank you.
Don't leave the meeting, just put the camera off. Okay? Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Go ahead, Sai, go ahead.
Yes, so next on the virtual session, we have Mr. Harish Prathapani, sir, who is joining us from USA. Sir is currently working as a senior manager at Green Dot Corporation. He has completed his BTech in computer science engineering from JNTU Hyderabad. Sir is a software professional with a rich blend of experience in quality assurance and program management. He is an enthusiastic leader with experience of leading cross-track, cross-geo teams successfully and delivers results with strong positive impact on business. He has a hands-on experience with various testing tools and technologies, including data warehousing, ELT, API testing, code courage, and automation. Sir, it's an honor to have you on board today. I request you to come upon the virtual dais and take over the session.
Yeah. Harish, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was in. Thank you, Say, for your introduction.
Actually, first of all, I have to say something because when I called, you are sleeping because in US there is a night and here I forgot that time difference. But still,
No, sorry.
you picked my call and you said there, and again you took some rest, and again you have joined with us, no? So it's really I couldn't
I'm not
remember that the India time difference and the US time difference. I couldn't remember, but still in you are in deep sleep, but still you picked my phone. First of all, I am very much thankful on behalf of IETE Pune chapter and Birds Academy, Birds Engineering Academy Pune, and Civic Center Kolhapur. And we are very much grateful to you, first of all, to receive here.
No,
What is the time right now over there?
It's actually 8:30 in the morning, but
It's 8:30 in the morning.
Yeah. So it's not an odd time for me. But unfortunately, I'm going through some cold, cough, and stuff. So took medications that are keeping me to bed most of the time. So that was the issue. But again, thank you, Say, for your introduction. It's a privilege to be here with you all. But just to let you guys know, if you want to remember about me after the call, if you do care, I'm a manager by profession right now, but an engineer at heart. That's me, right? And my suggestion to you guys is keep that engineer alive in you, no matter what profession you end up in, no matter what level you are in. Keep that engineer spark alive. That's gonna really take you places. That will differentiate you from others. And that's the core crux. That's who we are. We're all engineers, right? Let's live to that. So without much further ado, I'll share my screen. All right. So AI and ML. I think this is the new paradigm in the engineering world. And why do I think it's a new paradigm? And what my thoughts are on AI and ML world is what I'm going to talk today. Again, I couldn't attend the whole session by Mr. Himanshu Paliwal. I just joined last few minutes, but that was really fascinating. I think some of the points that he touched upon, very enlightening, thought-provoking, and a lot for us to dig into to understand what's happening and what's possible. That's only the scratch. So let's look at what further what I think. So what's AI and ML? These are my definitions. Again, you would get a million of those. You already know it, but I wanted to give my flavor of what I think AI and ML means for us, right? Artificial science is nothing but making a computer to think, to process information, and to analyze the information, to react to certain incidents or situations or inputs, as we call them in machines, right? In a more intelligent way. And what we mean that we'll discuss a little bit more in detail, right? And give you an impression that it's actually a human that's actually reacting or actually performing that task without actually human involvement, right? So basically, it's creating a persona of another human being, not just by its look and feel, but by its actions, by the way they react, by the way they perform certain actions and stuff. So that's what is artificial intelligence to me. What is machine learning? Machine learning is enabling the computer to learn more and gain that intelligence, basically, identify patterns, identify the options, and improve its ability to kind of choose the best options in given situations and all that, but providing it with different data sets, right? And relevant data sets. And keep doing that over a period of time, let the machine run its algorithms, form its own, hypothesis, and then validate them, develop that pattern learning and make that iterative. So when you give a new set based on the previous learning, it should be able to make new inferences with the data that it provides. So that's machine learning too. And what do I think about these two fields, artificial and machine learning? I mean, it's not two technically, because the intelligence is built through machine learning. So machine learning is part of AI. But again, it can span up into its own segment and its own science. So what do I think about these two fields is they're the future and they're going to stay here. I mean, in the past few years, if you've seen, a lot of new technologies have come up, a lot of new tools have come up, new paradigms. I mean, we're seeing the drone technologies, thinking about this, that, and all that. A lot of stuff has come up. Some stick on, some do not, based on their relevance, how good they are, what value they add, and what are their applications. So I think these two fields, they're going to stick for a lot of time. The reason is the scope of where they can be implemented is almost infinite. You think of anything and you can implement AI there to improve things, to better deliver, to better serve, to better perform an activity or whatever, right? So I think this is going to stay. This is going to stick on for a lot. So it's important that all of us try to understand what this is, go on, go forward. The reason I mentioned big data here in my slide is big data is relevant. It is staying, but when it started a few years ago, maybe 5 or 10 years ago, when big data just came up, the Hadoop and all of that stuff, everybody thought data processing was big data is the only thing going forward, which wasn't the case, because big data has its own scope. It is applicable where the traditional data processing systems could not scale up. So today, big data is used phenomenally in a lot of places. Facebook's, Google's, Microsoft's, all of these big tech crunch, people use big data, but that's about it. You're not able to use big data in your house. You don't really need implementation in your college, right? Maybe some of the government agencies will be able to benefit out of big data, but not. But what the point I'm trying to say is it has limited scope. So while it has come a big way, and it is here, it's not really like the Big Bang. It's not the only, it's not like disrupted the industry or the area as it was projected to. But I think AI and ML, they will be that disruptive stuff. Exactly, again, for the main reason that they have like high potential of what you can do with them and the areas of implementation that you can think of. Okay. So we have a lot of technologies today. I mean, we have robotics, we have automation. Then how is artificial intelligence different to them? And this is what I think, right? Artificial intelligence is no completely different stuff, but it's a very enriched and enhanced versions of robotics and automation. But what do they bring in that differentiates them from the other technologies is the intelligence, right? So you can have a robot, a lot of robots, where they'll do, okay, hey, when this happens, you do this, and they'll be perfect. They'll be like nonstop. All these assembly lines, manufacturing industries that you see, hey, you get something here, you feel the weight, then you just put this on top of it or remove something from there. And they can do this endlessly for you, no matter what, right? But what does AI bring in? AI is the next level, and this is actually being used, guys. It's no different. So Amazon uses it. So you all know Amazon is big in Amazon, FedEx. They both use this technology. So they ship cargo all around the world. There's boxes floating in their network all the time. So they use machines that keep transporting these boxes within their warehouses from place A to place B, and they'll have like millions of them going around. But the intelligence that is built into it is it can detect if there's another robo passing it, they'll hold off, or another parcel, or there is an obstacle, they can hold off. They can change their direction, but eventually end up to where they're supposed to be, right? They'll avoid collisions, they'll avoid all of that maintenance and all that stuff. So that's the intelligence that you're trying to bring on top of the existing automation. And superior service. All of us have this experience where you try, you get an email statement or whatever from a bank stating you owe this, you do that, or you just bought some product and it has an issue and you're trying to connect to the customer service and you're online for like endless hours, or you have to like press 1 million buttons before you actually get to what you want of the IVR systems. I mean, IVRs really help businesses to reduce their cost a lot, but the customer experience is not as good as what you would want when you talk to a direct person on the other line. But with AI and its ability to kind of emulate that human behaviors, imagine every single customer dialing in will be able to talk to this virtual assistant. And you can retrieve that virtual assistant every single time you call. It's not that you call somebody today, tomorrow you call, and that person is not available and all that. No, the same person will come back. They'll have your history. They remember everything. They'll help you with your problem. But the only thing is, it's not the actual person that is doing, but a machine that actually behaves like a human. How cool would that be? Just call and there is a person to answer you, right? Better forecastings, weather forecasting, mines and mining situations, or ability to predict. How to put it this way? So let's imagine. I mean, it's not that we don't have those systems today, but you can improve to the next level. For example, agriculture. There are a lot of systems today. If you provide them the situation, hey, what's the expected rainfall, what's the temperature like, what's the soil like, they'll tell you, okay, hey, what crop would be better for this season, right? So you can say, okay, hey, do I go and grow a paddy field this week, or do I grow a sugarcane or peanuts? There are systems that can help you. But what can intelligence bring? Intelligence can actually look at other data, other stuff, and say, hey, you know what? Put other parameters, like what's the customer behavior like? What are the customers looking at, right? Is there a lot of demand for paddy? Maybe the situation is enough for you to kind of to grow paddy, but are the customers looking for paddy? Maybe not. Or everybody else is doing paddy out there. So by the time you bring your stuff out, there will be not good demand. So and what is that scarcity going around in your area or in the country, and then can give you a tailored and a better suggestion for the farmer to say, you do this, so that way you can be more assured of completing the crop without going through this unnecessary or unfit crop thing, which can reduce your yields significantly. But you can also bring into the market what is useful for the market and what can actually benefit the farmer. So that's the intelligence we're talking about. And efficient innovation. I chose those words very, very carefully. Efficient innovation. So there's a lot of innovation that you can do, and using systems that are intelligent, you can make them very, very effective and efficient. You can speed up the cycles. So we've all seen Corona, right? And the time it took to develop a drug to fight Corona. Imagine how many cycles that would have taken in the background for these pharma companies to come up with what they did. And eventually we saw not all of them were as good. And I'm proud to say, the vaccines that came out of India were far more superior than that came out of the US or, Russia, China, elsewhere, UK. So, but if we do have these systems in place that are more intelligent, that can really analyze the disease properly, get to the root cause faster, and for develop assist. They don't have to be entirely capable of doing it themselves. Assist in developing formulations and in experimenting and developing that simulation models and seeing does that really exactly work. That'll be great, right? Usability. Building intelligence into these machines will make your world a lot better. I mean, we are already living that world. If you know, all this, the Alexas. I'm sure most of you will be using an Alexa, or if not Siri, that's more in the US. But I know my little nephew, my little niece in India. They go around the house all the time and say, "Hey Alexa, play me the songs." Right? "Hey Alexa, stop." That's intelligence. The machine knows, okay, you want me to do something. They do a lot of background work. They can exactly search for what you requested for, bring it back and play it for you. And think about it. Home automation it was a dream a few years ago, but now it's a pretty common thing. You can automate everything. You can say, hey, turn on the lights, turn off the fan, open the door, lock it, unlock it. No matter wherever you are in the world, you just need a connected device and say, okay, hey, somebody is at the door. I don't need to be home to let them in. Just say, open the door, it opens, and they're in, and they can lock. They leave, you lock. So there's a whole lot of that automation happening already, but building intelligence into it can make it more, more convenient for the users. So all those examples that I was talking are more automation, but intelligence, let's say, let me throw an example around it. You're not home, but you're going to be late from work, and you want, some rice to be ready or some chapatis to be ready by the time you come home, roti to be ready. How about you letting the machine know, hey, I want this, and it can do that for you, right? And keep it exactly in that warmth temperature, or do it in an exact fashion to have that hot, ready food when you get home, right? It may not be too much of intelligence to be used there, but a high-end automation. It's like on the borderlines somewhere there, but that can improve. There are other things that you can think of with intelligence. Ability to assist elder persons in the home when nobody is there to take care of them, to be able to have a machine. It may not be a humanoid all the time, but other machines that can take care of them, provide them what they need. You can't really program to say, okay, hey, provide water at this time or that. But if they're able to understand, analyze, hey, my master really needs some water, or they need assistance getting up, and be able to do that instinctively, so that avoids a lot of that dependency for the elderly people. It makes their life so easy and fun. Proactive systems. So right now, most of the automation tools that we have, they're reactive. They do things when you ask them to do, right? So give a command, then you do that. That's like when this, then that kind of operations, right? But how about doing that proactively? Imagine a machine that can look at your face, figure out you're not in a great mood, you're sad for whatever reason, and it tries to soothe your mood by playing your favorite songs, right? Maybe when you're in a bad mood, you really don't think, okay, how can I get out of it, right? But think about it. You can build that intelligence into a system that can really soothe you out, make your day better. These little things that can make a big difference, that can go a big mile, right? So before I move on to the next slide, guys, feel free to put your questions. Feel free to stop me. Feel free to.
Yeah, participants are requested to put their queries. Himanshu sir is also in the call, and Harish sir is already going. At the end, we'll take all the questions. Okay, so you put it in the chat box. Both sirs will be there at the end to take your questions. Don't worry. You put all the questions in the chat box. Yeah, go ahead, Harish sir. Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. And here are some of the implementations that I think AI can have a big impact in the very near future, right? There's a very few examples. I mean, it's like its potential is unlimited. So we're looking at some industrial implementation where Google, Tesla, Microsoft, Amazon, all of those guys are investing in billions in self-driving automotives. So which means you don't need somebody to sit behind the wheel and drive. While it's in early stages, there have been crashes reported. Tesla has this feature already, like driver assistance, which does like 80% of the driving. Trust me, guys, I've been in a Tesla that has autonomous driving. It does 80% of the driving, but still, it's still not in a place where it can like exactly drive like you would, like a professional driver would. But we're getting there. So self-driving automotives. And if you have that, then there is a lot more that will follow the suite, like Amazon delivery. You don't need a driver to come and deliver stuff to your door, right? A self-driving car will enable Amazon to deliver 24/7 because you don't need a person to be sitting and driving around. And that will enable a lot of people to avail transportation even though they cannot drive, right? For example, my mom can't drive, so she's dependent. If she wants to go to a place, she has to wait for somebody to come and pick her up, or she has to book a cab, and you don't know if the cab will actually turn up until it turns up, right? Or the cost of the cab may be prohibitive for her, whatever reasons. But if there is a very reliable, the word reliable is very important, reliable and consistent self-driving car that she can get, boom, she doesn't need to wait for my dad. She can go do whatever she wants, right? So think about a whole lot of things that can follow the suite when you get that. Manufacturing. Today, like automation is no big deal in assembly lines, right? But what happens is when there is an unexpected situation in the assembly line, all machines will halt because they don't know what to do when a different situation happens. So with intelligence, they'll be able to determine, hey, is this really a problem for me to actually halt? Can I circumvent it? Can I fix it? And then actually get that going before somebody realizing the problem, having to come there, fix the issue, and then recheck the whole thing. It can do by itself. I have a question here which I want to answer. Hey, what about the locations where internet or cloud connectivity is not there? How will driving cars and similar devices work there? Beautiful question, Dr. Nitin. Today, we are on the brink of having 24/7 internet everywhere in the world. One big example is Starlink. And again, today, the world of internet connectivity is discrete. What I mean is, it is specific. Like the internet service providers for India are different, whereas Europe, there are multiple providers, US multiple providers and stuff, and they don't share across, right? There's no interconnectivity. But with all of these developments happening, and to be as we evolve into one global community, I think that interoperability comes into picture. So no matter whether I'm, it's like, hey, you have an Airtel phone, you're driving, and there is no Airtel tower. But if you do have a Vodafone tower, you can still get that working, that interoperability, right? Obviously, there's going to be some investment that we'll have to do in terms of investing in the infrastructure. But there's new technologies coming up. If you look at Starlink, I don't know how many of you heard about it. Starlink is an initiative by Elon Musk from Tesla, where he's sending thousands and thousands and thousands of microsatellites or mini satellites. They're like 2 kg, 3 kg stuff, like a small box kind of thing. And in thousands and millions, he can pump them like anything. And he is challenging the world and saying, I can give you connectivity no matter where you are in the world, right? So yes, there is going to be that. But again, all of this, no matter how how far we have come, we still see issues with connectivity and stuff. But that's where the intelligence is going to come into picture, right? That's where the system is going to hold itself, does at least the basic expectation, even when it is out of the radar. I may not be able to see where the car is. It's driving in a remote place. It may not be available to me to see, okay, hey, where exactly it has reached because it lost connectivity. But I can be rest assured it will take the customer or whoever is sitting in the car, the passenger, to the destination, whether there is connectivity or not. And it can have that intelligence built into where if something happens, how to handle all of that situation, and to figure out, like, more optimistic and have that intelligence and say, okay, hey, I'm driving through this route. I don't see any big buildings. I don't see anything, no people around. So there is a high likelihood that I might not have a signal, right? But then it can use the maps, integrate maps and say, okay, maybe 20 kilometers or 30 kilometers from here, I expect, some houses, I expect a town there, so better connectivity. So if there is some issue really for the vehicle, it can reroute itself and go to the town, establish the connection, relay the information, do the remediation, whatever it has to do, and then continue the journey. Very possible. It might look superficial, it might look unreal today, but that's all possible, right? So that's what we're talking. That's building that intelligence. It's not just doing what is told to wear, but building that intelligence and saying, be able to do it no matter what happens, right? Customer service, like we discussed, you call and there's already somebody there. And that's what we're talking about, conversational AI, right? You can create unique experiences. Companies are doing it today, right? And that can help improve their brand perception. Where you say, oh, don't go with this company, their service is really bad. It's the same price you pay, but you get better service. That improves the perception, the brand of the company. Mobile applications, all the maps, the digital assistants that we're using today, the facial recognitions and stuff, that's all AI already, right? Businesses, chatbots, we already have those today, again, fully automated, but you can build that intelligent chatbot, which can really understand what you're trying to say, then to direct you, okay, hey, do this. Here are my options. You enter 1, 2, or 3 only. If you enter 4, I don't know what to do. Or if you enter yes, no, I don't know what to do, right? But the chatbot itself can be intelligent, be able to infer your messages much better, and be able to help solve those problems. Marketing. Today, it's a digital world, right? And companies are spending millions and billions of dollars on digital marketing. What's digital marketing? Every time you open a web page, you see an ad. Every time you open your app, Twitter's, I don't know how many people use Twitter, Instagram for sure, right? And Facebook is already dead to me. But you open any of these apps, you see ads. And how are you seeing those ads? There is a whole logic behind it, right? Building intelligence and trying to understand more about you and sending you targeted information where that ad may actually make sense to you. Maybe you're struggling with a problem in your house, and you might see an ad that showcases a product that can help you solve the problem, right? So that marketing and going through the social media content and seeing, hey, what's happening there, what are customers thinking about the company, what's the pulse, what's the trend. Today, companies employ thousands of people just to screen social media, just to see, okay, hey, what are people thinking about our company? That can all be automated and built much better with this. Financial investments. You don't need somebody. You don't need an investor who crunches all the numbers for you, but you can have a machine say, I think this stock will give you more returns, or this fund can give you more returns, or you can actually come up with a complex fund to safeguard your investments. So it's all unlimited potential of what we can do. Education, research and analysis, fasten the research and analysis. I know PhD today takes 2 to 3 years and sometimes 5 to 7 years, depending on what you're researching, what challenges you run into. But what if there are systems that are in place that can help you get to the problem statement, validate the problem statement much better, and assist you in formulating a solution or hypothesis or validating the hypothesis, and all that. I mean, we have ChatGPT that can do quite a bit. It can, you can even write a white paper with it. You don't need to be a genius to publish a white paper on any subject today with ChatGPT. But the problem is, it's not reliable. ChatGPT is not. You need to know how to use ChatGPT correctly. You need to be really a master to use ChatGPT. So what I'm saying is, if I am going and writing an article on heart blockages, how to avoid heart attacks, I can use ChatGPT and come up with a white paper and send it to a publication house. But I'm sure the publication house will spit it back on my face because I can't even validate it, right? And whatever ChatGPT gives, I'm going to send it to them. But if a doctor does that, who is a really expert in his area, who is a cardiologist, he can validate and say, hey, ChatGPT, this is not correct. Your hypothesis is not correct. Or your understanding is not correct. And we talk about this section. And he can use it to refine, basically, right? I think, that's where, things like ChatGPT with more enhanced versions can help, right? Can improve. So if you're taking 6 months to publish a white paper today in your area of research, maybe you could do it in a month, right? And be confident that the content there is correct, right? And you can use that to research better, all right? So that's the beauty of developing intelligent systems in research analysis. Like I said, it could be analysis of the existing factual information, like the actual data, or a hypothesis by itself, right? You can come up and say, what if does this happen, right? That's the basis for a lot of research. So you could use it for there. And think about what it can do for little kids. Every little kid has their own style of learning, right? And for a teacher, it is tough to adapt different styles of teaching. But what if they have some system, some application, which can figure out, hey, this kid will learn if I teach them in this particular fashion. Maybe some kids like it direct. Put them and say, okay, B comes after A, as simple as that. But for some, maybe they need it to be a game all the time. They like only games, right? So to customize that learning experience, to provide them with that, and what it can do to them, right? Phenomenal. Again, healthcare is one big thing where this can go leaps and bounds. Diagnostics can be a lot better. Today, a lot of issues that we see, some of the catastrophic issues are a major contribution, if not the only contribution, is incorrect diagnosis, right? People not able to diagnose, people missing out. Hey, I see this, but I think it's only this, may not be that, based on their experience. But having a system in place, putting this in, there is result, and it's saying there is a possibility that something else is actually happening. So let's diagnose with that, right? So you'll be able to detect things much earlier. You could be, for example, I could just say I'm coughing all the time. And you go to a doctor, generally doctors, they'll say, okay, use this syrup, that should help you. Oh, you go a month later and you go to them, you tell them the cough didn't go off. they'll give you another medicine, or they may put you an antibiotic, and so on and so forth. 5 months, 6 months, you struggle with that, and then they say, oh, this is not simple. We have to run additional tests and stuff. Or maybe 2 months, 3 months down the line. But whatever that underlying thing is that is causing me cough, that has grown in these 2-3 months, right? But if we were able to diagnose it upfront intelligently, hey, what could be the thing, you could tackle it much before, right? And doctors' assistants, this is a big thing here in the US. I think for every doctor we have 4 or 5 assistants in a hospital doing different things, right? That's why healthcare is very, very complex here. We can streamline that. We can improve that. We can bring down the cost. That will eventually reduce your cost of healthcare for a common man. Today, healthcare is exorbitantly expensive in the US, right? And it's free in a lot of countries in the UK, in Canada. US, it kills you, right? It kills you to save you. But we can improve that, right? We can improve all of that, reduce the cost. We can make this affordable, and let people have a peaceful life, knowing, hey, I don't need to tear myself to pay for these, bills, right? Assisting surgeons in their operations and stuff. So a whole lot of stuff, right? So this is where I think AI will have a huge impact, and they can have a direct and very big bang impact in the near future. And we're talking only like a couple of years, maybe, right? Again, there are challenges we have to overcome to get there. We'll look at some of those. And I'm a data guy, so I can't get away without numbers. So here are some fun facts for you. Already we have 4 billion devices in 2022. This is 2022 data, guys, not even 2023. So right now we are looking at 5 billion on 6 billion devices that are running AI-powered applications in them. They can include your smartphones to, hardcore, huge industrial setups to anything. But we are looking at billions of devices that have AI implemented in one form or the other, at one scale or the other. And there is this the statement going, AI is going to replace your jobs. And I tell you, it's not just a layman that is worrying. I have people here, my cousins, who work for Bloomberg, who work for Amazon, who work at Microsoft, who work at Apple. We all sat together once. I'm like nowhere, I'm ex-Microsoft, but we all sat together when ChatGPT came, and we said, okay, what's happening with this? And we said, ChatGPT can write code. They don't need us. Our jobs are going to go, right? But again, this is a proposition I put out, and then I did some research. And yes, our jobs are going to be replaced. Don't think that you can learn some .NET, you can learn some Java, PHP, HTML, and then you can find a software job where you can have a lavish pub life in the weekend. That's not going to happen. Nope. Not after another 3 years or 5 years max. That's not going to happen. Everything, all the coding will be automated. Does that mean all of us are not going to find jobs? No. We will find new set of jobs. Right? Just like, imagine, before email, before your instant messaging, SMS came into picture, postal system thrived, right? But now nobody cares about the postal system. They are even converting them into banks for them to survive. Does that mean all those people who relied on the postal system for their livelihood are not are not able to live anymore? No. Did they become homeless? No. They just found another job. They just found something else, right? Now people are saying, okay, you don't need to deliver letters, that's fine. What do you want me to do? I want you to develop app. Okay, I do app. So you just find something else. And with artificial intelligence, the 12 million is the number of jobs that it is anticipated to create in addition to the jobs that it will actually eliminate. Let's say it's eliminating 50 million jobs. It will actually create 62 million opportunities for us to actually earn money, right? And that's in the next 3 years or 2 years. I think it's by 2025 figure is what I have in my mind, right? And by 2025, we need 97 million people. That's an estimation from Gartner, not from me, from Gartner, who did the research and said we need 97 million people who have that expertise in artificial intelligence to be able to develop artificial intelligence systems and to be able to monitor, mentor, manage them all. We need 97 million experts at various levels. They don't all have to be PhDs or killers, but we need them, right? And look at how these are being implemented today. 51% of e-commerce sites that you're using today are the Alibabas, Amazons, Flipkarts, everybody. They're using AI in their systems. How are they using AI? They're using it to find products that the customers like and stock them better. They're using it to figure out the competitors' pricing and price their systems better. They're using it to provide a better checkout experience for their customers, right? They're using it to provide discounts or offers or special offers to customers so they can, sell more products to the customers. 51%, half of the e-commerce is already implementing AI, right? And in companies, in departments where artificial intelligence systems are already deployed, we are observing 40% productivity improvement, right? Especially with conversational AI and generative AI. That's what they call the content generation stuff is using AI very exclusively these days already. And they're saying I can do 50% more than what I could do with the system if it were not there. And very soon it will be 100% and you don't need to be there, right? That's where we're heading. 56% of those users who are using the AI systems right now in the industry, they're using it for content personalization. That's the generative AI that I was talking about. That's a massive piece that people are using it for. But very soon we'll see other implementations and stuff. Okay, just giving you a tip of the iceberg, high-level snapshot of what things are like already. Now the challenges. AI is fascinating, but at the same time scary, and I'm sure everybody agrees. Our speakers earlier, Mr. Himanshu, he agreed as well. It's very scary. You can't differentiate. You might get a call from somebody asking, hey, I'm in like life-threatening situation. I need like 10 lakh rupees. Can you send this to this account? And this is happening already, right? I read it in newspapers. People are able to like deep fake your voices already. And there are technologies that can say, even if I'm calling from my number, it can show up as your friend's number. And I can imitate your friend's voice with a deepfake technology. And with a very emotional story, I can loot money out of you. And you cannot even catch me. You will not even know who I am. So it's always there. I mean, technology can do a lot of wonders, but do we want, how much do we want to do? It has to be ethical, right? I mean, we know cloning, right? In the world of biology, cloning has been there for a long time. Today we are using it to preserve species that are actually phasing out. But are we cloning human beings? No. Why? That's the ethical agreement that we have. Hey, let's not use cloning for human beings. Is it possible? Absolutely. Right? Can I create another Arjun Gule, sir? Absolutely. No stopping. But do we want to do it? No. That's the ethics we want to follow. Right? Why not? Maybe in some cases it makes sense. Do we want to clone an Abdul Kalam? Maybe yes. Right? Does it make sense? Maybe yes. I want to get that knowledge out of him, but it's not ethical. If Abdul Kalam continues to stay, we'll never get to see another eminent scientist because he'll continue to do everything for him. Right? So that is not ethical. So we have to be very, very cognitive to say, is it the right thing to do? Everything that you have, every option that you have in the world today has good and bad things. But what do you want to do? Do you want to do good? Do you want to do bad with it? Which side of the coin are you choosing? And you have to be very careful. You have to like evaluate it every step and say, yes, it's on the right side and let's do this. And that is very, very important. Given the unlimited capabilities that we're talking about in AI, it's even, I can't stress enough on this, right? Next is regulation. Now, I want to share this experience. Once ChatGPT 4 was released here in the US, it was like the talk of the town. Everybody was, oh, ChatGPT can do anything for you and everything for you. 2 months from there, the president of the US called for a meeting, which was attended by Satya Nadella, Elon Musk, Sundar Pichai, a few other bigwigs. Like, he was really scared. Hey, what is this thing? What can it do? What can it do? What can we let it do? In 2 months, immediately. Because the challenge is the people who are in position to regulate this technology, they don't know what this is capable of completely. Right? So they have to build a knowledge around it. They have to regulate it. They have to put those conditions in place and say, stop people from using it for bad purposes. So getting that regulation in place, that will clip its wings and say, I'm building an AI tool, but it can only do this. It cannot do that. Right? And stuff like that. It has to be like very controlled and very progressively released out into the market. Upskilling. Now, like I said, we're going to get more jobs than that are going to be replaced with AI. But can I just like move a person from this job? Oh, AI is going to do your job. You do this new job now. No, it's not going to happen. You have to upskill the workforce, right? It's partly on the companies, partly on the individuals. All of us have to invest and prepare ourselves for the next leap and say, this is what I need to do. This is what I gotta have to do that. Only then will you be able to get that job. Otherwise, we'll go and crib like those baby boomers saying, this automation, that is killing my job. The outsourcing is killing my job. That's what Americans say. You Indians, you're taking my job. Then I'll say, okay, I'll say, you do this job. Come and do my job. I don't have to do it. But you just can. The reason they didn't upskill. That's the reason seeing all of these Indians coming into the US now. We have close to 30 million, 3 million or 10 million, whatever big numbers of Indians that we're seeing here. Now, if you go to Dallas, it's like in India. I don't feel like I'm in the US if I go to Dallas. That's how many Indians we have there. And the reason we are here is because the people here did not skill themselves while we did, right? And the organization said, we want talent, whoever has the talent. You guys have, we're going to bring it. And that's how we are seeing a lot of us coming and not simply. And if you don't do the upskilling, we'll end up where they are today. So we have to brace ourselves to this change. We have to bring ourselves up, be ready for this, right? Evaluation of AI itself is a challenge right now because, like we said, it's machine learning. We got to have data. We need to wait it through. We have to collect a lot more of data than we have today, feed it, make sure it's false proof, fault tolerant, and then actually do what it is supposed to do. These are some of the high challenges that I could think of. And this is my last slide. So what that I want you guys to, that 2 or 3 points that I want you guys to take from this is AI is very highly potential. We are today, I don't think nobody is in a position to imagine all the possible things that AI can do for you. It's infinite, right? By the time you can put one thought into the mind, there are 2 other possibilities that will come into existence. That's how massive the possibilities are. But we got to be responsible. Otherwise, I'll tell you this: Facebook invested billions of dollars to develop intelligent systems which can communicate, which can actually have a lot of this AI built into them and all that stuff. So they had this massive facility set up in California, in the Bay Area, and they were like running their experiments. And at one time, they pulled the plug out of nowhere. They said, let's kill this project. Why? Because those machines started interacting in a different message format that our researchers don't even know, which means the machines were able to talk to themselves. They were forming their own circle. So it's like Robo, right? Whatever you saw in Robo movie, that's actually happened. And they said, we can't let them take over us, so let's pull the plug. And if you don't control AI, that is going to happen. Today, a lot of species are vanished from Earth, right? We're seeing species of fishes missing, birds, trees, plants, animals. They're extinct. Why? Because of humans. Why are we letting that happen? Because we are superior. And what is that superiority we are bringing into the picture? Is the intelligence that we have than the other species that we have. But the moment the robots get more intelligent than us, then we will be the next extincting species on this planet. They don't care for us. Now, as simple as humans don't care for these species, the robots that will outpower the humans will not care for us. So we got to be very responsible in developing the systems, right? Hustle. Improve your knowledge. Learn a lot about what's happening in the world of AI, the possibilities. You don't really need to be an AI programmer to get the benefits of it, right? You can take this, implement elsewhere. Think about that. Muscle up. Think, learn. Make yourself relevant in the new world. And what's left after that is left to your imagination. Just fly as high as you want and can, right? So that's the 3 points that I want people to remember. Being responsible about this technology, proving your skill set in the technology, and then actually leverage that, that learning that you have in your own field. You don't have to be a computer scientist to be part of this AI world. You can be anywhere, still use AI in a very meaningful way. You can come up with innovative products and stuff, whatnot. All right, I know we're on top of the hour exactly. So
it's too wonderful.
Yes, Engineering Academy, all the organizers and everybody from the backbenchers happy to be here, listening to all my blabbering, even though it made no sense to you. Thank you for being there. And that's pretty much it. Over to you, sir.
Yeah. First of all, we are so much lucky to have you on here and to interact with our participants. and it's a excited journey of industries. What the today and what the future also points. You have covered enough, and um, so it's time is running out. But instead talking me, I have to hand over to you people only to say something. As Himanshu sir is also here, and you are also here. So we are lucky enough. So first of all, some queries. First of all, some Harish sir will address some queries. If you have any queries with Harish sir, and later Himanshu sir will address the queries. So first of all, Harish sir, you can go ahead. You can see the chat box if you are able to see some
Yes.
queries related to you. You can
Yes, sir.
address, and then Himanshu sir will take over. Yeah, go ahead. Harish sir, you can go ahead. You can see the chat box.
Yes, sir. I have it open. I don't see any questions yet popping.
Okay. Participant can put some more questions also.
Looks like everybody is an AI expert.
Yeah, participants can put queries in the chat box. Yeah, very good. Krishna is saying very good. Yeah.
Thank you.
Harish, you can take. You may not be positioned to take all the queries, but at least few queries because of time schedule, he may not spend much time, but few queries he can address still. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead. Harish, you can go ahead if you are able to.
Still don't see any questions. Come on, guys. Get wild with your imagination. You know, we can discuss anything that you want. What wonders you. You know, it can be imaginative for today's world, which will be true for tomorrow's world. Otherwise, I would have this discussion with Himanshu sir. So, what do you think? If I give you a chance, what's one thing you want to develop using AI?
Himanshu sir, you can turn on your the speaker.
You're on mute, sir.
You want to say something?
So Harish,
Yeah.
thanks. I see we have a lot of matching frequencies here on AI. And to answer your questions, what I will do with AI, the first thing I do will promote humanity, and that is what is missing, I guess, because as we both are of the opinion that one has to be very cautious in using artificial intelligence, and that is what has been propagated by a lot of thought leaders since last 30 years. Yeah, so I'll just address few Harish questions which were put to me, and probably I missed out. I didn't go through the chat. One question which I see here is Sai Muladapadi asking that can generative AI be categorized as general purpose technology, which includes game-changing inventions like printing press and steam engine? Yeah, it is. It is definitely that game-changing technology, and because it is so intelligent as of now, you know, that it is able to give answers to all the questions that has been asked to it. It may falter upon some of the questions, but at least why it is gaining so popularity, Chat GPT and Bard and Microsoft products are here to come. They are a next generation generative AI. Is the fact that it is a game changing, you know, it's a paradigm shift, and people are excited about it. Both technocrats and non-technocrats. I guess non-technocrats are more excited than the technocrats. But yes, you are right. It's a game-changing paradigm shift, and you know, you will see a lot more coming in. And then Dr. Nitin asked me one question which was very relevant and very logical. Is when I talked about robots being moderately using the compute power. The question was, as per logic, robotics AI must need large resources as compared to generative AI, but it is reverse. Yeah, it is reverse because robots as of now, you know, forget about humanoids. Humanoids will need a lot of computing power. But robots, if you see in industries which are there, they are doing a very specific job. Whereas a generative AI engine is a massive engine, which has to go through the entire data available on internet, and then sort out, not only search the data in trillions of terabyte of ocean, but it has to find the relevant data and make a sense out of it. And that's why it needs a lot of compute and storage power. I mean, it stores a lot of things on cache and then sorts out it, and then it produces output of say around 4 or 5 pages. But you're right, as robotics evolves into humanoids, and you will have human-like robots, you will have to have a lot of compute power and a lot of sharp senses. So I agree with you, Dr. Sir. You're right. Things will change once we move and advance in robotics. Third question which I had was again from Sai Mulalapati. As there are also several customized apps for various works like pictures, editing, text writing, handling customers' complaint, etc., which uses generative AI to generate responses. Yes, you're right on that. All these sectors are open, and generative AI will creep into everything. These sectors which you have mentioned will not remain untouched. Generative AI or robotics will enter into everything. Okay, so again the question was, generative AI can be categorized as general purpose technology which includes game changing. Okay, that's done. This question was repeated. If a large data is being trained, then is it possible to train ethics as well? Yeah. Yeah, that's a theoretical and logical possibility. Maybe it's a practical possibility as well. But then a lot of data would have to be crunched to arrive at training an artificial intelligence engine on ethics and emotions. Okay. Then Dr.
There is one from Jayashree Wagner. How is it possible to control this development of AI? I think, again, we have to be, this is what Himanshu sir and I've been discussing. We've got to be very, very cognizant of what we're developing right from the beginning, right? And do only the right things and limit the machines from, or this technology from doing what it is not supposed to do. But I was, right after this question, I was thinking, why can't we develop some intelligent system in place that can detect itself what's good and bad, right? And keeping human mankind in the front seat and think what's good and bad for us. So even though cloning may be good technology, it can say, hey, I'm not going to let you do cloning because it's not good for you, right? So I can't think of a limitation that cannot let us develop a system that is positively intelligent or limit its negative intelligence, right? So that's where I think we should all try and getting to develop technology that limits itself. Otherwise, we cannot limit this technology.
Yeah, it's actually an honor that both guests spend their time. Yeah, they are saying thank you, Jayashree. It's possible. I think as time is running out, and if you have still further queries, we can forward them and we can get it addressed in future also. I'm very much thankful to Harish again. I don't know his office schedule today. Actually, I made him disturb his sleep in the early morning, and then he says, "Sir, everything is ready." Anyway, I'm much again once again as Himanshu sir has taken his time, though he's busy in always some meetings in some particular country. I don't know at what time he is busy with which country. Always I am finding him busy, very difficult to get his time also. But he has shared his enthusiasm and he interacted with us, so we are lucky enough. So on behalf of IETE Pune chapter, RBG's Birds Engineering Academy, Pune, and Civic Incubation Center, Kolhapur, we all thank to Himanshu as well as Harish sir. Sahi, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, or go ahead.
Yes, sir. Definitely, it was a fantastic session. And before we wrap this up, I would request all the participants to give it up for our phenomenal speakers who has made this day of AI/ML Internet of Things workshop. And we definitely had a blast.
Thank you.
Yeah, so let's keep exploring, keep learning, and keep applying our newfound knowledge in the real world. A big thank you to each and every one for being a part of this amazing learning community, and your engagement and passion for technology is truly inspiring. So, thank you so much, Himanshu sir and Harish sir. It was great to have you on board.
Thanks. Last word from my
Yeah,
side, and
one
then I'll
more
hand it over to
announcement.
Harish.
Yeah, one more participants, one more announcement. You see, our workshop is Monday to Friday, and today is a Friday. So again, Saturday, Sunday will be break, and then again next Monday again we'll join as usual. So you remember that Monday to Friday, and feedback link will be given. So you have to fill the proper feedback, and whatever name you want to put it in your certificates, that name you have to put it properly. So that is compulsory. Feedback is compulsory, and writing your name, organization is compulsory. Yeah, Himanshu sir, you are trying to say something?
Yeah, just few seconds, and then I'll hand it over to Harish. A vote of thanks to Birds Academy. Arjun, whatever you are doing, it's actually a big social service that you are doing.
Thank you so much, sir.
Society. I have always been guilty. You have approached me many times, and then I have to sort of, not being able to participate. I am guilty of the fact that a couple of times I could not appear also, due to myself. But you keep doing this. My selfish motto is that I have been so disconnected in last 25 years with the academics and students. I only interact with them when I go for campus hiring, and that is very limited. But you give me an opportunity to sort of interact with academicians, put my thought, and I'm doing my part of CSR, which is corporate social responsibility. And so I guess would Harish be also of the same opinion, that you are also giving an opportunity to professionals like us to do some kind of a CSR activity. So thanks a lot to you and the entire Birds Academy team. Appreciated your efforts. Over to you, Harish.
Yeah.
I can't agree more, Himanshu. For those of you who do not know, I'm actually a student of Arjun's. This is what very, very hypothetical statement, but this is what happens when you build systems that are more intelligent than you. True. And this is I have frequent discussions with Harish on this, and this is very close to my heart. I always wanted to be an academician. Unfortunately, our system is not there to pay academicians as much as that forced me here. But these sessions really help me get that sense of accomplishment. And my way of giving back to the student community that I was one day. And I've tried this myself. I tried to set up a company, tried to do this, which I failed at. So I know the hardship that goes behind the scenes when you have to organize these sessions. And it's taken very granted, but then all that stuff, I think, Arjun sir, hats off to you. It's not so easy it's easy to organize a session, but to persist that repeatedly, keeping up and coordinating and collecting all of this stuff, I think it's phenomenal. And the request from all the participants, I think, really, really honored, privileged to be here today. Thank you, everybody, once again. Beautiful thoughts.
Yeah. Okay, then. Thank you so much once again.
Thanks.
And we'll end off here. And participants will meet on Monday. Saturday, Sunday will not be there. Monday to Friday, once again, I'll say. Okay, we'll stop it here. Now we can leave the meetings. Yeah.